Hello, my divine kings and queens. I am back to do another video. And today what we're going to be talking about is being far from ordinary, right? Who you are as an individual, what your purpose is here in this lifetime, the unique abilities that we possess. Sometimes it comes at a cost. And that cost, it puts us at times, if we're not aware, it puts us in grave danger. It can place us in certain situations if we're not aware, if we're not using discernment. And that's because we are not paying attention to our surroundings. We are not learning certain lessons. We are not seeing things for the way that we need to be viewing people. Certain lessons and things that we can take up out of situations that we've been in the past. And it's completely normal because we're human. Sometimes it may take us a couple of cycles before we understand something and know that we need to be more careful with whom we share our secrets with whom we partner up with, because we can't move how everybody else moves. Sometimes we had to go through certain things in order to understand that. And I use the example of, when you have a child, you have to take that child to get shots. And you don't like the pain that the baby has to endure, but you know that they have to get those shots, right? And so a lot of the times, God doesn't want us to suffer and go through the things that we go through, but He knows that we need it in order to learn, in order to grow. And in meeting Him halfway, He can take it from there. Meeting Him halfway means praying, worshiping, learning the lessons, doing what you need to do. And I'm going to take from the story of Samson. Samson's strength came from God. No man could beat him. Trying to figure out, why can't we defeat this person? A lot of times people will go up against you and don't even understand why they can't defeat you. They can't defeat you because you're backed by an unlimited power source, and that's God. To whom God bless and anoint, you are always going to be different from other people. You're always going to be set apart from the masses. You are marked. You are anointed. You are far from ordinary. A lot of us were sleeping on our level, sleeping on our gifts and abilities, sleeping on who we are as individuals and what we're called to do, what our strengths are, as well as recognizing our weaknesses. But see, when they couldn't beat him there in that area, and when he encountered Delilah, Delilah was very beautiful. Delilah did not love Samson. And so for however long it took her to get up under him, to get close to him, to woo him, and ask him, what your secret is, what's your call to, this strength that you have. Who gave you this strength? How do you become so strong? And once Samson had revealed to Delilah that it was his hair, that's when they were able to go ahead and cut off his hair. They took out his 2 eyes and they imprisoned Samson. Now, when we go back and I take from Judges chapter 16, verse 28, where it says, "Then Samson prayed to the Lord, Lord God, remember me. God, please give me strength one more time so I can pay these Philistines back for putting out my 2 eyes. And God grants Samson his request, right? And give Samson back his strength to break those pillars, killing not only himself, but also the people that had went up against him. Okay, God very much so knew, why Samson was asking for his strength back. And it wasn't just let me break out and go about my day and go about my life, right? Because he was always going to have to encounter someone or something, some type of situation where these people were going to try to conquer, destroy, and defeat him. God knew what Samson's reason was for asking for his strength, and still yet God granted him and gave him back his strength. And in his final act of strength, Samson decided to break those pillars, killing not only himself, but the people who went up against him. Now, in your life, God will call you, like I say, to be the bigger person, to learn what you need to learn and leave these people where they are, because you know what you're called to do. You know what you're going to have. the situation is where people hated you and was envious of you because of you being undefeated. Period, point blank. No ifs, ands, buts about it. You're undefeated in your own way. You're a trailblazer in your own way. You're doing things that no one thought that you would do, and you're doing it in a way that no one thought to do it. And you're being successful at it. You're being successful in so many different areas of your life, starting out with nothing, starting out with less than what these people who went up against you. And what it's doing is teaching people a valuable lesson. Number one, when it comes to God's children, you are no match. No amount of evil is a match when it comes to God's children. You will always be in a position to reclaim your power and get back that of which you had lost. Because you are backed by God. An unlimited power source. People think superficial, they think surface level. If I cut your head, it can't grow back. If I cut off your arms and your limbs, they won't grow back, they won't heal. If I defeat you, that's it. They don't know and think about who else they will have to go up against, or whom is connected to you, who have been ushering you into these new cycles and new phases and blessings of your life. They don't think about who they have to go up against, who's been supporting you, aiding you, who blessed you to have these unique abilities and gifts and ways about yourself. They just sit back and they plot and they plan and they scheme. That's what evil people do. But you know what God do? He come through and he set the record straight for his children about who not going to play with who and what time it is. Now it comes a time where I say God will give people a chance to turn from their wicked ways. But see, people become so engulfed and consumed and obsessed with who you are, how you got there, how you know what you know, how you're talking the way you're talking, how you're doing what you're doing, how you call them out on things that they have done, who they are. They become so obsessed with defeating you, with conquering you, with controlling you, that they don't even realize that that's a suicide mission. That leads to a dead end. Because God is backing you. God is supporting you. You had to wake up and realize who you was. You was totally different from people. Always have been all your life. That's what people can feel. That's what people can sense when they're around you, when they have encountered you. You've left your mark on people. You've left an impression on people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whether for good or for bad. I feel if it's bad, it's because you don't want to deal with people no more. Because they kept going down this road. If I can't beat them, let me try to join them. But they realize, okay, if they spot me coming, they're going to run for the hills. So you're not even allowing people to join your team, to come back into your life, to have access, because you said, you know what? You didn't know what to do when you had that access. You didn't know what to do when I considered you part of my family. You didn't know what to do when I considered you part of my friend group, when I considered you my lover. You betrayed me, you hurt me, you went up against me. And you didn't think about the consequences. You didn't think about how that would affect me, what that would do to me, if I would even be able to bounce back. A lot of people knew what you was going through, and some people decided to sit back and see, are you gonna get through it and how you gonna get through it, instead of trying to help you. And then came back on the tail end when you got through it and tried to be nice buddy with you. Approved friend request out of the blue, watching your profile out of the blue, hitting you up out of the blue, wanting to be this and this out of the blue. Watch how people sit up here, and I told you this before, how a person will try to change up and switch when God grants you a new identity, ushers you into a new phase and a new cycle of your life, and people see who you've been all along. Being this person who you are now, people can see that. And what it does is it not only, breaks down these barriers, allow you to break generational curses, right? It breaks down people's these old habits. It also breaks down these perceptions of people that people had of you. Too many people was out here running this. Too many people was out here using this for evil, using their eyes for evil, their mouth for evil, their resources for evil. Only to have to sit back and still yet see that you're far from ordinary. So what they would try on an ordinary person, they couldn't try on you. And it didn't work on you. It couldn't defeat you. You weren't conquered. They couldn't control you. They couldn't have you where they wanted to have you. Some people wanted you beneath them. It made them feel like something to conquer you, to defeat you. You had to start realizing, why is it so much if you do something that's better than me? If you do something quicker or ahead of me? Why is it so much so of an accomplishment? Because you know why? We think different from these people. We're not out here trying to be better than other people. We're out here trying to be better than ourselves. Be better than who we was yesterday. We're in competition with ourselves, trying to be a better version of ourselves, and elevating and transforming and learning these lessons, turning our losses into gains. You didn't have time to worry about people. You was worrying about you. But while you was worrying about you, other people was worried about you too. You're a trailblazer. That's just period, point blank. The way that you came about the mud, the way you came about the trenches, nobody would ever thought to do it like that. And nobody for sure didn't think that you would do it like that. That's the problem. This is why you don't judge a book by its cover. This is exactly why you don't judge a book by its cover. This is exactly why you don't take one look at a person and ease them up and down once and think that you know them. You take one action against a person and they do something, and it's not the reaction or the outcome that you thought that you would be given, or you thought that a person would have or would do, and you just think that you know a person. The definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing on a continual daily basis and expecting a different result, but you're doing the same thing. You're not trying to put a different amount of effort. You're not trying to start it off a different day, a different time, get a set regimen. You're doing the same thing, expecting a different result, but you're doing the same thing. They kept trying to go against Samson, and no one could defeat him. And then when they thought they had him where they wanted him to be, God still gave Samson back his strength. And in his final act of strength, he brought down those pillars on their very heads. They never would have thought in a million years that that's how it would end. For all the treachery, for all the betrayals, for all the lies that was told on your name when you was minding your business, doing what you was called to do. It's like the people were trying to punish you because God chose and anointed you and then blessed you to be different from everybody else. When once upon a time, that was something that you was joked and mocked about. Then when it panned out well for you, then when things started to change in your life, then when you was able to overcome all these people who went up against you, then when you was able to shut the mouths of the very people who talked bad about you, that became a problem. You became the topic of everybody's discussion. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. You woke up and you realized, you said, you know what? There is no life, right? There's nobody else's life that's better than mine. Because I'm too busy out here living it the way that I want to live it. I don't have time to try to focus on how Billy living their life, how Lisa living her life, how this person living their life, and I want that too. Because maybe what's meant for that person is not meant for me. I'm on my path. So what I'm meant to have, that's what I'm going to have. And when I realized, and I woke up in the day that I realized, you know what? My life is too valuable to be spent trying to waste that on people who are not going to respect me, who are jealous because of the way that God is blessing me, jealous of how God is supporting me and favoring me. Jealous because of who I am, jealous because of what I know. I mean, it's not a thing that people they're going down the list. And instead of trying to focus on their present and creating a better future for themselves, they was consumed and engulfed with trying to go up against you. And that just comes along with the territory when you're on this path. You're going to have good people. You're going to have bad people. You're going to have people who hate you. You're going to have people who love you. You understand me what I'm saying? But in realizing you're far from ordinary, you stop sleeping on yourself. And you got real with yourself. And you said, you know what? There's no such thing as a life that's better than mine. So I got to protect it. You're not coming back in my life. Stop trying to destroy me because you're not going to be successful at it. What you will be successful at is destroying your life. Because God will always place you in a position to win. He did not approve the actions that people took against you. But I'm going to tell you something, like I say in meeting him halfway, and what people didn't understand. When you called out to him, people didn't understand that in your own special way that you did it, God knew that that was your final plea and your final call. You understand what I'm saying? But some of us would be like, why he made us wait so long? Well, why he knew that we were suffering and he took so long? What are you saying? He saw all of this and he wasn't going to come until we called on him? That's what it takes. You have to call on him. You have to pray to him. You, like I say, you woke up. You didn't keep doing the same thing and sitting and waiting for a different result, waiting for a blessing, waiting for something different to happen, waiting for these people to leave you alone. You took action and you called on God to bring about justice in your life, to give you power over your enemies, to grant you a new identity and usher you into a new phase of your life. No, you didn't call on God to do what you needed him to do to get back at these people. Samson, like I say, it's a little bit different with that. Even though God, like I say, knew what he was going to do and still did it, it's because he didn't approve of what they did to Samson. He didn't approve of it. Now, let me tell you something and how it works in your life. He tells you sit back and vengeance is mine. Is that not what he said? But how he brought about justice and that is not only handling these people and blessing you the way that he blessed you and granting you these gifts and abilities the way that he did, it sets you apart from people. So now you got people waking up saying, you know what, dang, I want to sign up to be a misfit. I want to sign up to be an outcast. I want to sign up to be different too. I want to sign up to be a trailblazer too. Because doing it their own way and doing it the same way and getting them nowhere quick and getting them nowhere fast. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas, mad snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. Fake people, mad people, slithering all up in your grass, trying to figure out your flavor, your recipe, your rise to financial freedom. Meanwhile, in between time, while you was out here doing the work, you was moving in silence. Focusing on who? Focusing on you. Because ain't no such thing as a life that's better than mine. So I'm going to do what I need to do to get myself to the next level. I'm going to do what I need to do to utilize these resources that God has given me and granted me to have. And I'm going to capitalize off of that. I ain't got time to worry about you. Ain't nobody trying to argue with you. Ain't nobody trying to be in competition with you. I'm too busy focused on myself because I love myself that much. People need to start realizing. Focus on yourself. Love yourself. Take all that energy that you're trying to put out to do the wrong thing. Maybe you can do something good with your life. Trying to do the right thing instead of the wrong thing. Talking about a person ain't gonna make you be better than that person. You know what make you be better than that person? You know you're gonna be so much better than that person? Putting in work. Focusing on you. Holding your craft. And doing it because you want to get yourself to the next level. Not because you want to get yourself at a higher level than someone else. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. Heart beating fast, let the nigga know that he alive. They couldn't take you out, even though they tried. Because you're backed by an unlimited power source. There's no way that you could be defeated or conquered. You are the conqueror. You are the warrior. Fake niggas, mad niggas, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived. No reason for them to be fake. No reason for them to be mad. Because you're far from ordinary. But that's who God called you to be. That's who he blessed and anointed you to be. Mad because you undefeated. They were mad that Samson was undefeated. What is his secret? What makes him tick? What is this? What to do? I got to figure it out. This not normal. You weren't meant to be normal. You weren't meant to do things that was normal. People who are chosen, that's why you can't do a 9 to 5. Baby, in some type of way, you got to be the boss in something. Because you're not meant to take orders from other people. You're not meant to be underneath people, beneath people. You understand what I'm saying? You're meant to be something different. You're meant to be somebody extraordinary. You're meant to do extraordinary things. But in everything that you was able to receive and everything that you was able to accomplish, you showed humility. This is why God wasn't going to let people have their way with you, because it wasn't like you was out here being arrogant and snobbish. You was very humble. But people kept coming for you because of who you are. You been out your backyard. These people just stepping off their porch. And they got a problem with you and how you move. But these lessons that you went through were so severe. I mean, till it's deadly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you not understand the world that we live in and how evil people can be when they see something on you and it's not? I don't think you understand, but you're going to get a clue today. This is why God tells you to move different, and this is why he tells you, listen, you can't be out here just trusting everybody, letting your guards down. I don't care how good a person look. I don't care how good it feel. On everything I love, I don't care who you are, because you're different. You are a target. You have to know that and stop sleeping on yourself when it comes to that. He say, don't be sleeping on your level, because it's beauty in the struggle. It's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. Hear my words or listen to my signal of distress. I grew up in the city and know sometimes we had less. Compared to some of my niggas down the block, man, we were blessed. Let me tell you something, and that just ties into what I just say. You weren't looking at other people, you were just living your life. No, you didn't grow up having a silver spoon. But this is the thing about, and I'm gonna tell y'all something about when I used to, how I grew up, right? We didn't have the best of everything. I didn't go to school with Jordans or Jansport or anything like that. But my parents made sure that when I came to school, I was clean. I never came dirty. And I was actually, my mom would have me send me with this pouch. And this pouch would have like deodorant, wipes, mints, things like that. She always would stress the fact that throughout the day, you need to check on yourself. You need to, I don't care, carry this pouch with you, even if you don't carry your backpack, to lunch or wherever you go. Because you got to freshen up, you got to brush your teeth, she was very, very, very like, adamant about what I needed to do with my personal hygiene. When I looked around, I'm not saying anything specific, but there were some people who, like I said, would be joked for coming to school with dirty clothes or, not smelling, things like that. And I recall a certain situation where this had to be middle school. And they were joking this girl for smelling real bad. And I stepped to her, and I guess she thought I was going to say something. I said, come with me to the bathroom. And she just broke down crying and stuff like that. And I said, it's okay. Like, you can't, like, rub it on yourself, but just wipe yourself. Use the paper towel, put some water on there, wipe up under yourself. And then I'm going to scrape a little piece of my deodorant. You put it up under put some in your mouth, and I sprayed everything. When I tell you that me and this girl was like, we were so, she had her own, thing like that. But when I tell you, I ain't never had no problems with this girl. And when it came to anybody trying to like try me, anything like that, it was like, she stuck up for me because I was there for her. And I ain't never told a soul. But what I'm trying to say is, I say that to say, growing up in a city where sometimes we had less, but when you look around, you realize that you was blessed because you wake up with life. You wake up and you got through. You wake up and you took advantage of every opportunity that was presented to you. And one thing that my dad instilled in me is, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. My dad wanted to do more for me because I was actually the person, I made the grades. I made A's and B's. I stayed making honor roll in middle school. And so even when I got to high school, I was making my grades. Even though I was focused on other things, I still made sure that I showed up and did what I had to do so that I could graduate. Because people were saying that I wasn't gonna graduate high school, whatever. He wanted to do more for me because of me proving myself and doing good in school. But I knew he didn't have it like that to do certain things. And just the type of kid I was, I always be like, you know what, Dad? If he'd be like, you want something, I'd be like, you know what, can I just get my favorite candy today? I never asked for anything expensive, and I never made them feel bad for what they couldn't get me. And so they worked with me in different things like that. But what I always showed was that I was grateful for everything they did for me. And looking back on it and taking a lesson from every stage and phase of my life, I learned to take it all together. And in putting all those lessons together and taking everything that I learned, by putting it all together, I realized how strong I am. And I was able to take everything, ball up my fist, and strike a mighty blow. And what I mean by striking a mighty blow is not coming necessarily for people, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna be better. If I messed up, I'm gonna be better this time. I'm gonna do this better this time. I'm gonna do this next time around. You know, when I get this age, I wanna accomplish this. I wanna do this. If I hit down low and I'm gonna come back up, and I'm gonna do it bigger and better than I ever done it before. And I'm gonna be smart about it this time. So in my final call and act in praying to God, I said, give me power to get up out of this situation, to get up out of this rut that I'm in. And when he blessed me and gave me opportunities, and the doors of opportunity started opening up for my life, I didn't play with it. I saved. I stayed low till I came up. And when I came up, I still was grateful and thankful and humble. And I still gave back and did for people. There's things that people don't even know that I've done because I don't put it out there. Donating, going to shelters, giving back. I don't put that out there. Because I think back on the times of when I didn't have, and I wish somebody would have helped me out. It probably wouldn't have been as hard for me and struggling. But what he say is beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. Why is there ugliness in the success? You're successful. Where is the ugly part of it? What it took for you to get there. What you had to go without before you got there. What you had to surrender and learn to maintain your spot in your position while you were in that phase of your life and being successful. Nothing is easy. Nothing is a given. Everything you got to work for. You got to pick and choose your battles. Who you gonna be? You gonna be different, or you wanna be like everybody else? You wanna showboat? You wanna let everybody know what you got going on? Or you want to maintain your peace and move in silence? We all got choices. Everybody had a choice when you were in their life. And what they chose to do, they chose to go up against you. Everybody got a choice. But they can't be mad that when you decided to make the final decision and final call on these people, that your choice was to shut the door on all of them. You stepped up to the plate, you realized who you was, and you did what God was calling you to do. And you realized that the way that you're able to do it, the way that you're able to move, you know that you're different. And that's because he blessed you to be that way. No one can go up against someone of whom God chooses to bless and anoint. No one can confine and imprison someone of whom God chooses to set free. Because when you're set free by him, you're free indeed. You don't have to worry about competing with this person, being part of this. What's going to happen for me here? You know what you're meant to have being on this path. You're going to have what you're meant to have by doing what you're called to do. And you know that there's no force of evil that can overcome you as long as God is walking with you. As long as God is walking with you, walking in front of you, clearing out a path for you, blessing you, favoring you, strengthening you, you're always going to be in a position to reclaim your power, sustain and maintain your power in your position, in your spot, and get back everything of which it is that you have lost and gain back more. See, these people don't know what it's like to be alone. They don't know what it's like to lose everything or to surrender, to change in order to step into a new phase of your life, of their life. Everything either was a given to these people, or these people thought, you know what, I got all the money, I got all the resources in the world, I can keep sending people, I can keep doing this, I can keep doing that, I can keep doing that. But then realizing nothing that I do, nothing that I say affects this person the way that I want it to affect them. Definition of insanity: doing the same thing, expecting a different result or a different outcome. It can't work on you. It ain't gonna work on you because you're different. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. Through the good and bad, through the highs and the lows. You love your life. You love your life. These people had to realize and understand and accept your choice that you made to be done. And you are ready to conquer everything that it is that God says that you're going to conquer. Everything, every goal that you set out. You know that you can get there. You know that you can accomplish it. Because you're ready. You're ready to take it on. You're ready to take back control of your life, and you know that you can do it. You know that you have the power to do it because you know that you're what? You're far from ordinary. Ain't nothing normal about you. Wasn't nothing normal about your life. It never was normal. You never was normal. But see, the difference is now you're accepting that and you're loving that and you're grateful for that. Whereas before you wasn't, because you was joked and mocked for that. And now you got people up in their fields like, dang, well, I want to do that too. Well, how are they able to do it? I don't know what it is. I don't know how people view you, but I'm going to tell you something. No one stays the same. Everybody got to grow. The thing is, for a lot of people, while they sit back and they're just puzzled or they shocked, some of them still got their mouth open. They shook it. They don't understand. Why you? Who are you? God's child. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. Road to success and riches wasn't easy, was it? But you rich off your pain. Even though that pain may still linger on how people did you, how they viewed you. Even though that pain still linger. It's ugliness in the success, but you did what you had to do. And you still got more to do. And you're going to do it. And you're going to accomplish it. And you're going to be great. Just without these people. They made a choice to be your enemy. They made a choice to be on the opposing team. Ain't no switching sides now. You keep that same energy, sir, ma'am. You just chose to say, you know what? I'm going to stop fighting. And I'm going to just surrender to what it is he need me to see, he need me to do. That's what saved you, and that's what got you far in life. Utilizing these gifts and these abilities. You didn't sleep on your level. You don't sleep on you stop sleeping on yourself. Even though others slept on you, you didn't sleep on yourself, and God didn't sleep on you. Look at what he did for you. The best revenge, right? Because what he needed to do and how he gonna handle these people, that's what he needed to do. But what he gave to you, the best revenge that he could have given to you, baby, to overcome these people and overcome what it is that they did to you, was blessing you, setting you free, and blessing you and getting you to that new. And when you look at where you came from and you look at where you are now, you said in every situation I was blessed. Even when I didn't have, I was blessed. Because you say, you know what? And also in me being far from ordinary, in this strength and this perseverance that I possess, I realized that if I was up in that situation, if it would have been anybody else, nobody would have handled it the way that you did. Nobody would have handled poverty the way that you did. Nobody would have handled betrayal the way that you did. Nobody would have handled heartbreak the way that you did. Nobody would have handled being in despair, being desperate, being depressed the way that you did. Nobody would have handled that pain the way that you did. Nobody would have handled them family members the way that you did, them friends, them ex-lovers the way that you did, them ex-colleagues. In every situation, whether it was good or bad. You just realize how unique and special that you are because it's how God created you to be. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. Stop sleeping on your level. And you know why I say stop sleeping on your level? Because ain't nothing normal about you. Ain't nothing ordinary about you. Ain't nothing low down, scummy, evil about you. Ain't nothing bummy about you. Ain't nothing dummy about you. Ain't nothing crummy about you. You are everything and then some. Stop sleeping on your level because you're far from ordinary. You woke up and you realized one day, it must be a reason why people keep going up against me this bad. Got so much to say about me. You know who you are. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. You got haters because you undefeated. You got haters, envious people, fake people, mad people. Let a nigga know that he arrived. Oh, it's the reason that they watch you. Do you know what that means? See, when you ain't have nothing, when nobody thought that you was going to get nothing, when nobody thought you, baby, it was just a sitting back. It was just a sitting back judging. It was just a sitting back, what you going to do next? It was just a sitting back, but everybody was laughing. Why do you think people was laughing? They thought they had you where they wanted you to be. They were taking great joy, great pride, bets on your head. That now that's a debt that they owe. You know what movie I'm gonna take from it? So crazy that I'm saying this right now, and I know I'm saying this man's name wrong. I know I'm saying his name wrong, but y'all gonna understand, and you're not gonna joke me about it. Jean-Claude. I used to watch his movie. It's crazy. I should know his name, but one of his movies, my favorite movie, is Lionheart. That came out in 1990. Y'all go watch that. And what's so impressive about him, and also how that tie into the story of Samson as well, possessing this strength, right? This strength out of this world to get back up when you've been broken down, to get back up when people think and bet against you and know for sure they got it in the bag that you gonna lose. And then it's just like right in that moment you don't see in the movies, it's like, dang, like it's in the end where he going up against this person, and whoever got him in this underground fighting or whatever, she took a bet against him. Because the person who was supposed to go up against him, they already knew, okay, he was hurt, he was this, he was that. It was like they had you in a vulnerable state and thought that whatever they was going to do, it was going to be the final blow to you, but it wasn't. It was your call to freedom. It was your call to success, the final blow that these people took against you. Let me tell you something, because of who backs you up. He was down, and whatever, I was just like, dang, like that's how it's going to end. And it's like he get back up and he start whamming on the person, blood starts splatting. I'm like, oh my God, like he coming back a beast. This what I'm saying. People perceive you one way, but they see that you different, or they see that you two different people, or you can be. You just choose to be mellow, humble, and nice. That's who you like being. You don't. Baby, it takes too much energy to sit up here and get everybody that done got you. That's just too much energy that I could focus on booking a trip, doing something, making my money, keeping myself stable, keeping myself sane. Everybody got choices. Oh, but trust me and believe they know that you got another side to you. And you ain't playing, because you ain't playing about your life no more like you used to, and giving these people access to do all kinds of stupid stuff, ignorant stuff that they didn't have to do or say. So you left a low vibrational being self where they needed to be, in the dust, in the past. But like I say, in the end, her own colleague laughed at her in her face. Like, wow, we didn't expect this to happen. What you gonna say for this? She even tried to scare it off. And then people call her back and say, you owe a debt. You done betted against this person and this, that, and the third. And like I say, Claude ended up winning the fight. Claude ended up winning. Even the man that was telling the man, don't you know that you gonna die? You gonna get killed? They gonna kill you? There are some people who didn't go up against you, but they couldn't back you up the way that God backed you up, or speak that life into you the way that God was speaking that life into you, because these people had been broken down too. And so they just automatically wanted you to just say, you know what, just keep your head down and get out of it the best way, but don't do too much. Don't say too much. Don't be thinking outside the box. But you had to get creative, and you had to shake some things up and do something different, because you wanted a different result, a different outcome for your life. And you wasn't going to wait around for it. You took action. You had that call to action. You called on God. And you did what you needed to do. And you walked with him. You listened to him. And you let him order your steps. You ended up winning in the end. And made everybody look stupid. I say that in the most humblest, respectful way. I ain't lying. I told you people still shook it. You think I'm lying? Go watch that movie. But like I say, that's when you know, when they turn it up, when you got all these jealous, mad, envious, fake people, that's when you know you done arrived. But you just got to be smart about how you move. You have to be smart about how you move. And you winning, you expose a lot of fake people, a lot of pretenders. And you realize you have to guard yourself, and that you can't share your secrets and connect with any and everybody. You can't be morally weak. You can't be easily trusting. You have to rely on God's word, on his promises, and on his strength. Do you understand what I'm saying? He gave you strength when people took it away. He gave you strength when you felt weak. He never left your side, and he never will. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. And until next time, I want y'all to stay prayed up and be blessed, and understand that if you need a friend, you got it in me. If you need love, you got it in me. If you need inspiration, motivation, a life example, you already know that you got it in me. I'm your friend, I'm your sister. You know I'll come with that real, know that faith. And continue to bring others to the JC game. Reach one, teach one, tell a friend and tell a friend. Keep your head up high, never let nobody see you sweat. And until next time, I love y'all.